It's been about a month since I set up a realm for Marika and I to play on Minecraft together. So I thought this would be a good time to do a little tour of what we've built so far, show where we've been, and just kind of talk about that a little bit. Kind of like a diary entry, I suppose. Um, Anyone who's played the game for a long time or who's researched everything to do and how to do it before playing will probably look at what we've done and think it's very small or not very impressive or just like not the best way of doing things. But basically, we've decided that we're only going to research things as we bump into them if we are unable to figure it out on our own. So there are some things that we've worked out without having to look things up, and there's a couple of things that we have had to look up. Um, that's just like the way we've preferred to do it. So yeah, let's have a little tour around, show you what we've built so far in about a month. It's been like a couple of days. As I recorded this, it was a couple of days after the second payment went out. So yeah, about just over 4 weeks. So here we are at our original spawn point. This is where we both started, first time we ever logged into this realm. And that's pretty much the view I was greeted by the day I decided to pay for this little realm for us. This is where we ended up building our wheat farm, and there's a greenhouse I built there for Marika, one of the early experiments we did. We actually started with a mud hut around here, burrowed into the ground, a little bit of ladders to get in and out, a little campfire inside, while we were just kind of working out what we wanted to do and all that. The greenhouse, we didn't really know what to do with. We had some plant pots in it for a little while. Over there, where we kept replanting trees. This is the first cave that I was using while Marika was setting up the farm. Didn't get super deep in there, but was able to find quite a lot of iron. And we're still kind of figuring out mining. Didn't want to go too far because we didn't know what to find down there. These were Marika's animal pens. I think this one had horses in it, or maybe this one was sheep actually. Cows were down in there, and then over there, that one would have been the horses actually. Yeah, because it's got the hole in the back where she's ridden them in and out, I think. And here's the log cabin that I built for us. I went mining and built the log cabin while Marika was looking after the agriculture a lot of the time. So chimney made out of cobblestone, I thought would be a nice little touch. And that did have a fireplace in it, like an actual fire burning. There was a lantern in here, and there was a few more chests. Uh, that's that. This is where we started. This was our first little home. We had our crafting bench and some more storage set up just out here on the grass, and then a bit more farming going on over there. So yeah, that's where the crafting and storage was, just there. Big tree we planted before we left just to see what would happen. So we head off this way. We'll go to the first, well, the first big thing we decided to do together, which is probably small to a lot of people. And I know that it's certainly not as far away as I felt like it was the first time I went over here because we didn't have any maps at the time. So here's the farm. This is the first large space that we had together. That machine on the grass there is a semi-automated blast furnace that I was experimenting with. And here's the main gate for the house. Cow, which has spawned in the garden. So this garden and the perimeter wall changed a lot while we were here because we were experimenting with different levels of security. Basement down here for all of the storage and our crafty tables and repair tables and everything else. So lots of different storage for different materials, regular furnace built into the base of the chimney. There are two equal sized alleys around the side of the house. So little potted cactus, one of my favourites. Bedroom, and we've got ourselves a little stand there. Most of the decoration Marika done in here, so the banners that look like our flags. And like she chose the colour for the carpet and the bedding, and we had personal storage in there as well. And kitchen in here, I done this one. So little decorative table, got a sink, some storage, and somewhere to make recipes via another crafting table hidden in the corner. And we've got a loft as well, which was supposed to be a textiles crafting studio for Marika, because she was well into exploring carpets and these banners and things like that at the time. So this was for her mostly. And the thatched roof is made out of hay bales. Out in the back garden, got a little flower bed. That's the outhouse over there. Flower bed I put in. Big old cactus. We got a chunk of cactus off of one of the wandering traders. So put a bit of sand down and planted that there. Little rose bushes there on the kitchen window. Outhouse, little hole in the ground to do your business in. And around the side here we've got a smoker oven that Marika set up with some hoppers and chests. And we'll just have a little look at some of the fields and things. We've got a little flower meadow there that I put in. Got to have a sunflower, of course. And this field was where the sheep were, and then we had pigs in that one. That's the pathway down to the allotment. We'll go there in a minute. And up here, this was going to be a bunny rabbit meadow. I put a little burrow in for them as well, but we never actually managed to get bunnies back from their spawn point to there. Which we have since at our new place. We have got some bunnies now. But we didn't at the time I recorded this. There's the allotment. Big old well I put in. Purely decorative. There is water in the bottom. And I actually hid a chest underneath it and had Marika go looking for it with a basic clue for a little treasure hunt. So wheat fields, carrots, beetroots, taters. Got some melons and pumpkins over there. Loads of wheat. We really needed a lot at the time for some reason. Can't quite remember. I think I was trying to do the floor in the stables and the barn as well. And the roof took a lot. Got time to have a quick look at the barn and the stable as well. Little fenced off trees I put in to have a storage chest. Some of these storage chests that you've seen around had things in specifically for the field or building they were near. This was our stable. It was supposed to be only for 2 horses, but I came in here once and found 5 because Marika had brought more home. And here's the barn we had. I always had to check around that corner for creepers. This is where we had our cows in 2 separate pens for some reason. And this is where we had chickens. And they had those little holes so they could go in and out into the outside as well. I just thought that looked cool. And we'll go mostly for an aesthetic than functionality at this point. And take a quick break. I've skipped the next day. You haven't noticed that. This is a minecart station that I built so that we could quickly travel between some of our locations. I didn't think to bring a minecart with me, so I'll have to run along it. But you can imagine, if you want, that we're moving a little bit faster because these powered rails would send us shooting along. And it just makes travelling between some of our other sites a little more fun and quite a lot quicker, actually. But we came out quite a bit into the countryside. We got some stuff that way. But I want to show you this way first. We can hit that switch to change which direction the cart goes in, as long as we know ahead of time. So there is a road that Marika dug out to the right side of here, but I decided that the track should take a shortcut. And we come to a station here. And this is a little mining camp that I set up. Got a big old watchtower there, a blast furnace, some storage, a repair station to the left, and beds and item storage to the right. We had a big old platform here. That's been blown up by a creeper. I think that was the last time we were here, actually. And if we came down here, you can see the ravine where we actually did a lot of mining, an awful lot of mining. And Marika fell into it a few times, which was unfortunate because she usually landed in the lava and not the water. But yeah, quite a big ravine. Our first proper big deep ravine. And we spent a lot of time down there looking for diamonds and other stuff. It was fun. I'll show you the watchtower real quick as well. So I built this just for fun, just so that we could come up here and see sort of the top of the trees. It was more of a beacon at the time because I'd come running through the trees and then I'd see the tower first, so I know where to run to. Ooh, nearly fell. Okay, so we'll move on. This is actually fairly near to one of the first villages that we found. So I'll show you that real quick. And this village is where I got my first horse and where we got a bunch of cats from. And we could actually go around the other way. You can go from the other side of this village over the hills and get back to the farm. And when I came here, I got achievement for setting off a raid. I had no idea what that was. And I thought that the villagers had gone to war with me for some reason, so I kind of killed them all and stole everything. I later found out that the raid was actually something attacking the village and I was supposed to defend them against it, but you know, that's the kind of noob mistake that you make when you decide not to actually look things up ahead of time. But it was fun, so I don't mind learning it that way. And if we come round here, we're back to the crossing point for the trains. So now I'll show you what was the other way. There's actually one of our other mines to the left here. So another cross point, and it was just down here. We built up a temporary bed camp and went into this tunnel. And we caved around for a bit. And we actually came up nearby just to further out into that field. That was fun one night. Took us a few hours. So as we come this way, we've got a village off to the left that I'll show you after. Marika also built some roads down to. That one's already empty of life. There are some villages in the game that are already overrun with the undead and kind of in a ruined state. Mesa Ara, I think I called this one. It's a lodge, mining camp / lodge. And we come up here, tried to spawn proof it as much as I could, so it's up on a lot of sheer cliff and then fenced off. We've got a watchtower, log cabin, and there's a furnace, a blast furnace over there with a repair station as well. I'll just show you up the watchtower real quick. So you can see sort of where we are in relation to some of the other stuff. And our farm is off that way somewhere. And over there, is a bridge I built over to a mine entrance in the mountainside, or cave entrance in the mountainside. And we had a lot of fun in there because there was a spawn room for monsters just inside, so we had that to clear out. And then we went mining around for a bit. It was a lot of fun. We didn't get any diamonds in there. We didn't go deep enough. Um, but yeah, here's the log cabin. Lanterns on the roof so that it was all spawn proof. And inside, there's. I went past it too quickly, but yeah, there's the fireplace with the fire in it. Bricks instead of just cobblestone this time. A little decorative table, some storage, and we went for an orange colour. I think I told Marika to do random for that one. Asked her to do random. Here's the cave entrance. You can see from here the bridge that I built, a couple of legs on it. And this kind of spawn room was just down there to the left, like literally right inside. And that cave went off in all different directions, lots of different tunnels, but we just never went deep enough in there to find any diamonds. But it was fun. I think we were in there for a couple of real world days, like not literally non-stop, but like we kept coming back to have adventures in there for a few hours each day for a couple of days. So now we'll head off to see that ruined village real quick. If I'm explaining things slightly out of sync with the video, I'm trying to keep up with it unscripted, and I recorded it about a week ago while I'm doing the recording, so I haven't quite remembered exactly where everything is. And basically I'm just happy to finally get around to actually doing it, because just haven't really had time to focus on it. It's the old ruined village, lots of cobwebs in the buildings. And this is a more sprucey area, so a bit darker colours. I think it's quite nice. There's a creeper hole. I don't know how many weeks ago it was we were last here, but there's still bits of dirt floating around there for us to pick up. Bell? Ring the bell. Yeah. Does nothing now, everyone's dead. That's our campfire underneath the tree. We actually came here and camped quite a lot at one point. We were looking for new caves to explore and all that, and there were rabbits in this area, so we were looking for them too. Boop, and we've skipped to the next day because we were done on that side now. And here's a bridge with the watchtower that I built to go across to one of the other bits of land over there, over the river. You can see the farm from up here nicely. And I'll go over the bridge, which is where Marika built her tower. Before I do that real quick, I did want to show, when I can find it, the cave entrance to the primary iron mine that we were using while we were at this farm, which is over there. And then the exit to it came out further up the river around the corner. We were down there a lot, and we did go really, really deep. I think we found a small few diamonds, but we just didn't go super deep. And this is before we knew about proper diamond mining techniques. We were still determined to try and figure out as much as we could on our own. Which, to be fair, we still are, but we're at a point now that we've been playing for a month that we are looking things up a bit more, because we've kind of had fun exploring quite a lot. Ring the bell. Come in, please. This is Marika's Mage Tower project that she was working on for a little while. Bunch of dogs sitting on their mat. Kind of an entry lobby with little side tables and stuff. One of the cellar rooms that was originally where she had her bed, another dog. That goes down into her own mine cave thing, where she actually ended up in the other one that came out down the river. So it's like an alternative entrance to that. I don't know what she was planning to do in some of these rooms, but she did have ideas, and in the future she's going to be in charge of the main building complex, and I take over doing agriculture. Like, we're going to swap. because for these first few builds, I was in charge of the main building, while Marika was in charge of the agriculture. Halloween room with some carved pumpkins and cobwebs and some red grass from the nether, and a bucket of beans. Don't put your hands in, that's actually lava. But yeah, delicious bucket of beans. And I got stuck on the bloody cobweb. Yeah. So back out from here. This was going to be her work and storage cellar. And we'll go up and we'll show the other floors. So this was to be a lounge area, I think. So she's got like corner benches and shelves and stuff. It does look nice. So she had some ideas, but it also feels kind of empty now because we've taken a lot of stuff out. Like this was a library, this was full of bookcases and the enchanting table, but we've reconstituted all of that and used it where we live now. So it used to look a lot better. So if you think that Marika's rooms look big and empty, whereas mine look small and cluttered, we're trying to combine all of our different ideas. This is a cat playroom with climbing stuff around the outside of the wall, which I think was a really fun idea. But obviously they don't actually play on it, but the idea is there as a decoration. And I don't know what she was going to do on this one. It looks like it was going to be some kind of armory. And it had this outer ring balcony that you could come onto. But she also dug a hole for it because she was trying to get grass to go to the roof. I'll show you why in a minute. But it never quite worked out. But yeah, I think I've tended to do a lot of small, cluttered things, and Marika's got a lot of empty open space. So we're going to be looking at each other's ideas and really combining what we do to make things look and feel a bit better, a bit cooler. But it's all fun and it's all experimentation. And honestly, Marika's come up with so many good ideas that I've been really impressed by. And I've even seen her use a couple of my ideas. This is why she wanted grass on the roof. It's a relaxation zen pond kind of garden on the roof, which I think is a really awesome idea. Anyway, back to the bottom of the tower, because it's time to move on through the woodlands. And that is Marika's chimney. That goes down into her work and storage room where she had that, uh, whatever it was she had in there set up. Little back door. And then if we go off this way through the woods, which I do kind of know where I'm going, but I always end up coming out like some kind of a fork. So I know it's this way. We both know how to get through here. It's just that it kind of you kind of fork yourself off a little bit, if you know what I mean. Like you still come out where you want to be, just not quite exactly sort of like just nearby. But we just come along here, um, in and out of all this, and we'll come to the river where we actually want to be near the lake. And it's just up there a little bit. There we go. So yeah, there's this tiny little pier that we put in as like a reference point. So it's time to get the boat out. Boop, get in the boat. And we go off. And to the left here, you'll see the most recent thing that we built at the time of this recording, which I will get to at the end of the video. And if we go this way, all the way off to further to the right, there's a village that we're actually using and trading with at the moment. And in the middle here, you can see there's a big old windmill. Marika's built a much bigger farm. And we're actually near to where we are currently living. So here's Marika's little boathouse that she made. So I think looks pretty nice. Take the boat back. Put the boat in the shed. Right then. And we have to come up here. Might as well show you the farm first and the windmill. There's the windmill. She tried to make it look round, so it's more of an eight-sided thing. Chickens, these have since been moved into a factory. I learned how to build a proper machine, and I encased it in a factory, and that is now a little different to what you see here. Marika's windmill, one of her cats. Loads of storage, a smoker oven set up there, a door on each side that goes out to where her animals are. And if we come up here, there's just like a spare emergency bed if anyone's out in this area and we need it. And that is not a glitch. She's actually built this with black concrete. So that's not a lighting glitch or anything. You can see through each side there. And that arm goes out to the windows. There you can see where we're currently living. We're getting over there in just a bit. To show you a little bit around the farm before we do. Marika's put a lot of effort into this, and I think some of her ideas are really nice. This is where she's got her cows. Back of the windmill. There's a zombie. He wants to be stabbed. And no, he's not a zombie. Multicoloured sheep farm. Or field. Not sure if you can automate sheep. Probably can. I think people figured out a way to automate a lot of things in this game. Piggies in their little field there, and she's got these little stone structures so that there's some shelter for them to go under, and also where she can put like the different storage units for things. That's the front side of the windmill, see? I think it looks pretty cool, all things considered. And we'll go up there in a bit. There's quite a lot more over here as well. It's quite a big area. Cave entrances, source of many a surprise creeper attack. This way goes down to the village that we've been trading with. And this way goes over to... this is Marika's storage barn, warehouse, I suppose. Storage warehouse, where the idea is that anything that she farms up and wants to bring back home later on comes into one of these. And then round the back there is a minecart station so that we can actually bring down a cart with a chest in it and send things back up home. Little log house that she built for herself, another dog. And out this way is our tree farm, where we take different trees and then plant them back again. And this is where we can stop and sleep at night time when we need to, if we're out this way doing some farming on wood or other stuff, and it's closer than running back up to the home. So, side entrance out into the trees. This is all birch, but we've got oak as well, and I've got spruce a little bit further up on the hill. This is Marika's equestrian centre, as in horses, donkeys, mules, and llamas. So she actually breeds each of these creatures to find the best carriers and the best mounts. And she's actually not that bad at it. She's figured it out quite quickly. And down this way, this is the village. This is where we come to trade some of our stuff away for emeralds, and then trade them emeralds for some extra bits of armor and whatnot. And there's just some places that we can tie up our horses. They somehow end up getting themselves trapped inside their own pens, which is quite funny because we have to come and let them out sometimes. But we're not doing the imprisoned iron golem farm because we've got way more iron than we know what to do with anyway. It just doesn't seem necessary. It seems like more hassle than anything to do things that way. So just down in this corner real quick, these green ones to the right is the sugar canes, bamboos. And this side she's got the plants. So wheat fields, and then you've got the root veg to the left over here. carrots, beetroots, taters. And this is when Marika was experimenting with a chicken machine, but it never quite worked, which is why I looked up a Bedrock Edition one specifically and built it over the other side. But we'll have to show that one at a later date because I did it after I made this video. But an attempt was made in any case, and honestly, credit to Marika for trying it because she figured out a lot more about the redstone engineering than I did. A lot quicker, and we've both ended up having to look up videos for it anyway. So before we move on, I came back to this because I didn't show Marika's irrigation. This waterfall was already here. Oh, and there was a creeper. Yes, one of the many surprise creepers that pop up out of the ground. Sorry, Marika, you're going to have to fill that in later. I would do it myself, but I'm trying to record the video. But yeah, that happens. Marika's irrigation system, I just thought it looked cool. I just wanted to show that before running off to the next thing. And she's got a little cactus plantation here too, which I thought was cool. So I love cactuses. I love cacti. So we get on the minecart, boop, and we're off. And yes, I deliberately put some unpowered powered rail at the ends to act as a brake, so that if we're traveling together, we can move over that using actually forcing it to go over it, and then we don't bounce off each other and the cart doesn't go running back off at 50 miles an hour. So here we are. Like this, you can bump them into each other on that and it doesn't go dis. Oops, didn't mean to take them both down. But we'll put that in here in the rail supplies. There we go. We can get them back later. Welcome to Gorbert Keep. That's the tunnel we just came through. Goes through the mountains back down to the farm. And just down the road here, we've got the road that actually runs down to the farm. And this tower goes down to our largest mining operation so far, which has expanded even more since I made this video, because it was actually the day after I made this video that we looked up proper diamond mining techniques. So you can see here from the top of the tower, the road that goes down through the farm, and that field on the right, now to the top center, is actually where the bunnies have moved in to live since I found some after making this video and brought them back from Marika to breed. So now we have a few bunnies. They will have to be shown in a different video because, again, there are things that have been done since I recorded this already. So we come down here, and I don't know why I decided to do these two flights back to back. It's just the way I had it in my head. Here's a little save room where we can do some gear repair, set our respawns, store spare equipment, and also come up to stash things like diamonds and lapis and anything else we find, redstone, iron, gold, and then come back down for more. So all the way down to the bedrock down here. This is where we had an awful lot of mining going on. As you can see, we've pretty much cleared it out without really thinking about the proper techniques. Quite a large cavernous expanse down here. And a lot of this lava is now gone as well because we came down with some water and farmed up a bunch of obsidian for something else that we've been working on. And come back up. The main mining that we're doing down there now is actually kind of a floor above the bottom at the proper height, and we're going through proper tunnels with the proper spacing to search specifically for diamonds, and it's been working really, really well. And we come up all the way back to the surface. We've got a back and a front door. So come out the back door, and this comes just back round next to the train tunnel without getting shot by skeletons, hopefully. Before we go in, this is the main archway entrance, like kind of tower gate kind of thing, gate tower. Rest in place for two of my unfortunate dogs who have met with unfortunate accidents involving creepers most of the time. Um, but yeah, a little memorial for the two named dogs that I had. So let's go in and show you where we're actually living. This is Gråberk Keep, which translates to Swedish grey jar. Training area, mostly for decoration, but I thought it'd be fun to have since it was supposed to be like a castle. These actually work, and if you hit them in the bullseye, you get the achievement and the t-shirt unlock, which is kind of cool. The only thing is, even if you line it up, you're going to sometimes miss. So that's just the way the game works. Not a big problem, it's just fun. Little melee guy to train with. Again, you can't really train with it because you'll knock it over and break it. But it's just for decoration. We got a bonfire. Stairs up onto the wall. There used to be more, but there's only one now. A la toilette. A sink to wash hands in. And two cubicles with opening and closing doors and opening and closing throne. So you can come in and, you know, do your business right here. And then we are done. We can wash our hands in the sink. And there you go. There's the loos. Here's the stable. And over there is the kennels where our current dogs are. Stable for 4 mounts. There's my McLaren. He's quite fast. He's got lots of health. Marika bred it for me. And there's Bruna. Marika found that diamond horse armor in a random chest that she found on her caving adventures. Fish-Based the third hopefully lives a little bit longer than his predecessors. And Anya, Marika's dog. And then we've got pet supply chest and mount supply chests here. And just like a decorative kind of storage area for hay and stuff. So yes, July 2020 is when Gråberk Keep went up. Where am I off to? What? Oh yes, I wanted to show the wall, that's right. So if we come up, this is the only external stairs that come up to the wall, but the towers do have ladders inside them as well that we can use now. So you can just see from up here in the towers, all of the towers are accessible and come up to the tops. And you can see off in all the directions. So we come back down then. The gate towers are slightly taller and have the ladder that goes down to the doors that go back out into the courtyard. And we have the side entrance over there. Got 2 side entrances, one onto each of the wall sides that come out. But I want to go in through the main front door to show you that first. So we come back down the ladder and through this little door and we're back out into the courtyard. I can get my character's fat body through it. So here we are at the front door. Based it a little bit on Rochester Castle. Welcome to the main hall. These food plates, we actually can take the food on and off of it as well, so that's kind of fun. This way comes into the kitchen, where we have our smoker cooker, potion brewing stand, and storage chests. And these are now labelled as well. Our friend who came to play with us asked what was in what one and would I think of labelling them so that it'd be easier to figure out. So I decided to label them, and I've labelled everything. To use quite a lot of signs. The cartography office in here, where we have our map studio, essentially. Bookshelves with a crafting table hidden in the corner, and this desk has the map-specific crafting table. We have a storage chest there for paper, and that's just for a bit of fun to have things in their own separate places. Ground floor, see? Main hall, kitchen, cartography. Down here is the storage basement. So storage, crafting and armory, see? So we have a much larger workshop than at the farmhouse. Massive crafting bench here, and this bench over here for building experimental devices on without covering up the crafting benches. And all the different storage all labelled up so we can have loads of stuff in here. And we still end up with more cobblestone than we know what to do with, despite the fact that it took more stacks than I can ever count to build the damn place. One of each furnace and blast furnace all hooked up to hoppers and double chests. So when we come back from mining, it will just go straight into the hoppers. Armor and weapon repair and upgrades in here, along with storage, tools storage, and adventure supplies, which is things like ladders, torches, spare beds, clocks, compasses, things like that. Random Enderman taking a tour as well. They do that. Just stroll through. There he is. Let's give him a stab. Now this way, that is the side tower door that goes out onto the wall. The one that's nearer to the stable there, see? You can see out that way all the little nasty monsters who wanted to spawn in here but couldn't because we put too much lights up. Let's go down into the portal room, which is the only thing that this tower accesses. And it goes all the way down underneath the basement to a sub-basement. And here we are, the portal room. It's an observation ring all the way around the outside, I'll show you that. And that goes through into the nether, where at the time of recording this video, we haven't spent a huge amount of time, because every time we walk through that portal, there's a huge battle going on between Endermen and Pigmen. And then there was one time we went through and everything was on fire because ghasts were constantly blasting at us, and it just seemed like it was a big hassle. So we wanted to save up some fire protection armor and get a couple of fire protection potions, which we've been getting by killing witches. And we're going to go through there and build a base so that we can actually have our portal protected on the other side, which we have built now. I'll show that in another video. So up here, galleries, textiles, and the library. This corridor just goes through to the other tower. And this is the first gallery where we have some enchanted golden armor, enchanted iron armor, and enchanted diamond armor, all purely for decoration. And then we'll eventually get some netherite in there when we can find enough of it. Enchanted tools, only wooden ones just for fun, just to have on the wall, because the wooden ones matched more the ranged weapons and the shield, see? So then we have some paintings, some big old paintings. Mary, I don't know, is it a pig, is it a sheep? It looks like both. Man versus God, obviously. And then this one reminded me of Doom, so this one's called Lost Soul. And this is the textiles studio in here, where we have a nice big crafting bench and space to hang experimental tapestries and things that we can make, and storage chests in here. They need redoing, but that'll do for now. And this way, the library, where we have our enchanting table and a little lectern there. And then we've got some storage over here for the lapis and unenchanted books and enchanted books. And inside the array, we have a switch for every bookcase on the lower two levels. Up is withdrawn, which means it will not affect the crafting table. And down is extended, which means it will affect the enchanting table. So we can control what levels of enchantments we want to get. And we have a little book here. We don't know what we're supposed to be doing with that book, really. Although, It can be used as like a diary or to send messages or whatever. And I had to do a brief pause there to make sure that I was actually still recording. So we come up to the top floor, accommodation. This is where we have our bedrooms. Now, there are 4 bedrooms purely because it was easier to do 4 than 3, even though it's a 3-player server only. This is a basic empty spare guest room that hasn't been used. And this side, our friend has her bedroom in here. Each guest room had a storage chest, an armor stand, a couple of picture frames, and she's got a cat in there. And here's my room. I've decorated it with a St. George cross because I like the colours. And there's cactuses everywhere because I love cactuses. And that banner is a trophy from beating up some pillagers. And then I've got some decorative furniture. Plonker and Donut, my cats. They keep my bed safe from, well, nothing, hopefully. And then some armor stands and storage over here for personal items. And this side is Marika's room. And she's got a lot of purple. She's got a jukebox. And she's got that awesome reading corner. She's got a cat too, Snowy. Hey, Snowy. And yes, this awesome reading corner she set up for herself, which I thought was a neat little touch. So all that's left for the keep now is the roof. Which is accessible by the 2 back towers. Well, basically the 2 rear towers are the ones that access everything, and then the 2 front towers are mostly as storage cupboards, apart from the front right one, this one, which goes down to the sub-basement, the portal room. And from up here, you can see how tall we built things, and this isn't even that tall compared to what some people have built, and we know that, but it was tall for us, and it was the biggest thing that we've built so far. And you can see the sun coming up over the farmlands down there, which is kind of pretty. And the moon going down that side. So there we go, there's the roof. We did have a snowman patrolling up here, but he disappeared. And yeah, each of the towers can be accessed to the top. So that's the keep, where we actually live in. So there's just a few more things to show off. And one of them is, well, they're all out that way actually, but one of them is out a little ride away. So let's grab a horse. Let's get McLaren. And we'll take his lead. His or hers, doesn't really matter. So off we go. We made this cobblestone road. And we come over this way. This is where I had my spruce trees, but I didn't bother replanting many of them. We come this way. We've got some nice open space here that we could build things on later if we choose to. Come through the tunnels that we built. We spent a whole night building all these tunnels on this road, purely because of what's at the other end of it that we thought was a fun thing to build a road for. Little bridge over a tiny pond. Another bridge over a river, and then through this last tunnel down into the woodlands. And here's the end of the road. We've got a little hitching post so we can tie our horses up there. And we come down this little pathway, and we've got another little mining camp here. It has been blown up, which is why it's all a bit patchy here. We did have a cow and a gate. Repair and crafting station, storage, beds for respawn points. And it's all fenced off this time because there was a lot more monsters. But if we come out through the gate, we come to this small entrance into another ravine. And we had quite a lot of adventures through the caves down at the bottom here that kept coming out in the water to the right in the corner behind me, in through there. We kept coming up through a little hole underneath that. But yeah, another little ravine that we've been exploring. There wasn't as much fun to be had in that one. It was a bit smaller than the other one. But at least as far as I can remember, no one's actually fallen into it. It's been a little bit safer. Boop, and we're back at the castle again. And we're going to go off and see the final thing, the last thing that we'd built when this video was recorded. So we come out this way. I thought I saw something over there, but I didn't. Instead of going down to the farm, we come round the back side of the keep, where actually some of our other cave entrances were, which were the first bits that we started exploring. Over there, there was a creeper explosion there, and we've repaired that wall with obsidian, which I have since reclaimed because I wanted it, and I rebuilt that wall with bricks again. So yes, we had some cave entrances around here that I was exploring in the earlier days when we first came and set this place up. But if we go off down here, there's well, it's the same lake as before actually, but we come down this little path and down through this little bit here, and there's the lake. I'll put in this little footbridge. Keep closed. Very important. We do not want things wandering across the bridge, because this is the only legitimate land entrance to our fishing resort. You can see our keep from over here, and that's the lake that we boated across earlier on. And here is the proper official entrance into Green Bay, our little fishing resort. Also established July 2020, so again within the first month. Now things have changed inside this this first house, this kind of clubhouse if you like. The bar has been improved and done with a darker material, and this open area to the side of it is also now a aquarium with tropical fish in it. So it would look a lot different if I showed it again. We also have some entries in the guest book too by now, because like I said, we'd only just finished building it at this point and hadn't actually come in to use it properly. Some fish on display, and above that sofa on the wall there is now also a map. I'll have to again show that separately. I think things look a little bit different in here as well. And if you haven't guessed it yet, the blue banner with the fading dark and light blue with the sun on it is kind of a house banner. Just get me through the door. And that target blocking was supposed to be a dartboard, by the way, because it's a bar. It's kind of like a clubhouse bar room. So here's the fishing resort. A little seated bench thing here under the trees, just for decoration. I don't think it looks particularly right, but I will. It's there. Let me show you the chalets, but let's try and make this first. This is where I have made a tragic error in counting with basic numbers, because I wanted to build something that required 4 blocks of iron, and I only bought 3. Very sad. So I'll have to come back and finish that later. The chalets, we have 4 chalets, and I built 4 because there's 4 bedrooms in the castle. Infinite windows. Each little chalet has a storage chest, a bed, decorative table, a clock, and a armor stand. So that you can come down here, put all your gear up, just bring your fishing rod, and go fishing. And each of these are the same. They're all the same inside. And to the right, there's the barbecue area, essentially. So this is supposed to be my picnic bench kind of thing. And then you've got a fallen log there, which I thought was a fun little touch. And we come this way to the actual fishing pier. And we've got a storage shed here with some barrels and boats. Some boats in that chest, so that you can actually come out and boat on the lake if you want to, and fish from those. You can come up on the shed and get into the sort of kind of unused bit of land. Got some lamps up there just to stop things spawning in as much. This is where you come to fish. Nice big pier to walk up and down. I mean, obviously you can fish anywhere you want. I just really wanted to build this specifically as just like a fun little extra project. Over here we have a cave that we haven't been in yet, so we've fenced it off and labelled it up, and we've put just a few torches in just a little way, so that things hopefully don't spawn and come creeping in up into the park. But this is something that we're saving for a day when we're kind of bored and feel like going on a little adventure. So yeah, little storage and repair station there too. And guess I better fix this guy. I got that block. Let's do it. Boop. And his head. There we go. Now we've got ourselves a little Laputa robot to walk around and kind of protect the place, hopefully. Not that anything should be spawning in here. I've done a pretty good job at putting all these lights up. Haven't seen anything spawning in here yet anyway. So, oh, and also toilets, again the same as the ones at the castle. Identical in every way. It's the exact same design, but just for fun. So there you have it. That's pretty much everything that we've built so far. This fella just needs a name. Oh no, they won't load. Okay, bye. Thanks for watching, everyone. There we go. Groundskeeper Willy.